Okay. Peace, my name is Max Parthas. I'm here with Moana Lane today for the Power to the People rally, which didn't consist of a lot of us, but it consisted of enough of us willing to make a difference and stand out and be heard here in South Carolina, the home of slavery, where the Confederate flag still flies every day. There's these images on the walls. Right here, as you can see, it's a memorial that traces the history of the first African-American slaves here in the United States all the way across. Over here you see the abolitionist movement, which I am presently a part of right now because slavery never ended. Right there you have Harriet Tubman, and everybody's celebrating the Emancipation Proclamation, which was a lie. The Emancipation Proclamation only freed slaves in the southern states who were against the northern states. It didn't free slaves everywhere, and the 13th Amendment had an exception clause. This is an obelisk to South Carolina's African-American History Monument dedicated to the people of South Carolina. It's an obelisk. What does an obelisk have to do with slaves? Then you see after the Emancipation Proclamation we got involved with voting. We had judges. The Republican Party was primarily blacks at one time. Then, in order to stop this political movement, much like the political movement we see today, it began with these things: Jim Crow, black codes, sharecropping, segregation, lynching. Remember these things? These things weren't too long ago. My mother lived through these. Your mother lived through them, likely. And then we see over here the Civil Rights era, where people started getting jobs and working and moving up to middle class. Briggs versus Elliott, Brown versus Board of Education, which we just seen overturned recently. And then you follow it to the protests. Free, equality, we deserve equal rights. Here in the 21st century, this was us, still asking for the things you saw on the other side of this wall. And as my brother Flip pointed out, we get all of that, or so we think, and look what it provides for us. Music, education, sports, astronaut, Martin Luther King Jr.,
entertainment value,
basketball player, boxer. Basketball player is the very last thing in our line of freedom. So I'm here to tell you today, and to be a part of something in South Carolina that shares with the world that slavery never ended, that the 13th Amendment exception clause allows for prisoners to be property, and that we have the largest prison population in the history of the world, period. That should be sending out bells to you. It should be red alarms. And I also like to make the point and connect that the police brutality we see throughout America today, with them shooting to kill first, is because they have dehumanized us. They don't see us as people anymore. We are expendable. We are, as the sheriff in this state, or in this city alone said, Sheriff Lott, that we are collateral damage. So they hunt us and they sell us on the open market through private prisons. They store us in warehouses called prisons, being South Carolina created their first one in 1866, 1 year after the Emancipation Proclamation. They knew in advance what they would be doing, and I'm here to tell you they never stopped. 2.4 million people in prison right now, 4 million children without parents, 7 million people under direct influence by the prisons through their parole boards or their for-profit private probation companies. All this is happening in 2014, and it's all connected. Slavery creates slave catchers. Slave catchers don't mind killing people every now and then. It happens. We have a problem in this country we need to face. And until we recognize slavery still exists, we're just going to keep chasing all these mirages. We're going to keep going after mass incarceration. We're going to keep going after police brutality. We're going to keep going after unjust court systems, when all of these things are symptoms of one thing and one thing only. And it began over there, right this way, right here. It began right here. These 4 stones represent the lands that slaves were brought from. Right here. It's a very profitable business. $500 billion in a year right now in the United States. Those 4 stones represent where it all began. And it has not ended yet. And until we start to decide to become abolitionists, it's not going to change. First, recognize the problem. Slavery never ended. than solve the problem. Abolitionism, just like Frederick Douglass said. That's all I've got to say. I want to thank Moana for putting this together today. You are very much appreciated. I want to thank Spirit the Tattoo Poet, who inspired you with his video of him out here all by himself.
Mahalo, Spirit.
Indeed, Spirit. We have raised that number by 700%, Spirit. So there's 700% more people out here now. Let's see what happens later.
Travel.
Say hi, Kim.
Say aloha. Say hi.
Peace. Become an abolitionist. Wake the hell up.